Welcome back to Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today is Thursday, March 8th, 2018. And let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. Back when I was competing, I remember always feeling like I had a little bit of extra gas in the tank after seeing some of the action that went down at these mega events like we had with the Arnold Classic last weekend. And apparently, veteran big man Petar Klancir must share some of my sentiments. This week we saw Klancir release one of his first training clips of the off-season, where we catch the third-year pro looking like a living, breathing cartoon character straight out of the pages from one of those old Muscleheads cartoons. Pound for pound, Klancir probably has as much muscle as any pro on the planet. So if he can start to iron out what he's doing from a conditioning standpoint, this is a guy who's more than ready to have a breakout season. As the old saying goes, if at first you don't succeed, then try again. But when you come as close to scoring your pro card as Canadian big man Tony Searle did last weekend, sometimes firing up the engines for a second blast out of the gates is easier said than done. After falling just short of locking up his IFBB pro card in the heavyweight division at the Arnold Amateur to eventual winner Andrew Bell, it looks like Searle and his team might be circling the wagons to make another run at finally punching his overdue ticket to the pro division. According to Team Searle, they could potentially be targeting a return within the next 2 weeks at the New Zealand Pro-Am, or the Arnold Amateur in Australia, where he'd definitely come in as the pre-show favorite. So if he can find a way to hold it together both physically and mentally for another few weeks, this time around, I think it'll finally be worth the wait. When you're in business long enough, you begin to understand that sometimes just figuring out how to be in the right place at the right time is really half the battle. With around 4 weeks to go until he makes his rookie debut at next month's Indy Pro, 212 prospect Ben Barks looks like he hopes that there's no time like the present. This week, the former Masters national champ dropped another round of impressive new update photos as he continues to blast full speed ahead down the last lap in his first foray into the pro ranks. At least on paper, the combination of conditioning and thickness that Barks brings to the table could have the potential to make things real interesting. Depending on how this lineup ends up shaking out, it doesn't seem like bringing home a top 5 finish is entirely out of the question. Ben Barks won't be the only athlete looking to make a splash in the city that Peyton built. It looks like Michigan native Ken Jackson is planning to bring his talents to the stage in Indy for the first time this season as well. Jackson is heading into 2018 looking to rebound from a tough 2017 campaign, where he spent most of the season on the sidelines trying to rehab a surgery to repair a torn triceps tendon. Judging from the photos, the CEO of Team Jax doesn't look like he's any worse for the wear these days. So if he can keep plugging away to make this thing come full circle, don't be too surprised if he finds a way to bring home a hard-earned top 3 or better finish. If you're an athlete, this is the time of year, right before the season starts, when everyone's hopeful, because it still feels like almost anything is possible. And from what I'm hearing, there are plenty of good vibes floating around the camp of fourth-year 212 powerhouse Erik Martinez. After redshirting last season to spend some time packing on a few more pounds of quality muscle, the new and improved Martinez looks like he's gearing up for a takeoff sooner than later, so he can show the rest of the bodybuilding world what he's been working on. At least at the moment, Martinez seems like he's in a position to step up and make a serious impact. So I guess we'll all just have to wait and see how serious that impact is when he's finally ready to take his new wheels out for a spin. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passions, and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.